Welcome to game 2 against ehunt. So looking at this board, it seems like a classic Hermit Market Square thing. I was not too thrilled to play it, mostly because I don't know exactly how to play Hermit Market Square, let alone the details, and intricacies, the subtleties. For example, does Chapel help in the Hermit Market Square thing? So for those of you who don't know, the idea is that you get a bunch of madmen from your hermits, and then you fire a couple of them, use your hermit, trash something, trigger 5 or 6 market squares, then draw back the golds all in one turn. You'll see it at the end if that wasn't clear. But I wasn't sure if the chapel would help. My thinking was, okay, chapel can trash a little bit. I have this necropolis, this free village. I can play more hermits, perhaps if they collide. So if I thin a little bit, I can play my hermit more often, gain more hermits, more market squares, more madmen, and perhaps fire the combo a bit more quickly, which is why I went for the chapel. We'll see how well the chapel does. My opponent goes for the double hermit opening. So here, they do collide, which is unfortunate, but I'm going to choose to play the hermit instead because this combo works without chapel, so I figured it was better to get it set up rather than trash 3 coppers. And I don't want to trash the coppers per se. I would much rather trash the non-coppers, so I have better chances of buying market squares like I do here. So I'm not sure if I was supposed to convert for a madman here, or if I was okay to buy the market square, but I chose to just gain another hermit and buy a market square, and that is the plan I am going to follow for quite some time. Whenever it is possible for me to buy a market square, I will do so. My opponent is doing something similar. I'm not going to trash the overgrown estate here because I know there's hermits in those last 4 cards and I don't want to draw it dead. And I also don't want to trash the necropolis just yet because I could perhaps play 2 hermits on a turn. So I just buy another market square moving along. Right, I want to save that overgrown estate at a time when I really need the card or would need the card more often than not. So, um, Necropolis comes into play here, very nice. I'm able to play both Hermits, and you see here I am unable to buy a market square. So I'm going to convert these 2 guys, these 2 Hermits into Madmen. I'm thinking about trashing the Chapel here because what does it actually do for me? It hasn't done a single thing yet. I decided to keep it. Still, I do need some targets at the end for the Hermit to trash, because if I don't trash, I don't trigger the market square, right? So I need something for the Hermit to trash. So that was my idea with keeping the Chapel around, so it'll be some target for my Hermits to trash. So I do gain 1 market square, 1 Hermit. I couldn't gain 2 Hermits there. That was the last Hermit. And now there are 3 market squares left, and a popular thing that happens in this kind of game is that the estates run out, because you have all these buys and then you get a lot of gold, so you have lots of money, so the estate pile can run very, very quickly. My opponent goes for an estate buy here, getting rid of his hovel, of course, and now I have to think. So here, look, now I am going to chop the chapel because I have enough madmen, I feel, that I will be able to fire the combo, execute the combo next shuffle. The Necropolis just gets in the way of that. It served its purpose. I've been able to play 2 Hermits on a turn. I don't need it anymore. I don't need it anymore. So here, for the same reason, I'm going to trash the Chapel. Just gets in the way, right? One extra Chapel in the deck. That could be the difference between me seeing a Madman in my reshuffle or not. So down goes the Necropolis, and now I think for a very long time. Thank you to my opponent for giving me the time to think whether or not I should pick up this market square. I know he has 2 madmen, and if he fires everything off, he has enough gains. He has 7 gains in total, right? I'm able to see my deck with the Hermit, so I know exactly how many cards, what kind of cards my opponent has, and I counted he has 7 gains. If I gain the market square, and everything goes very nicely for him, he will be able to end the game, I think. He can get enough money to buy the estate. So instead, I'm going to pick up a smuggler as the next best thing. I really didn't want to gain anything. The best thing there would have been a cantrip like Scheme or Harbinger or something, just so I could find the madman. That was the key, right? So you see my opponent goes off here, but doesn't go off completely. He burned both his madmen and wasn't able to get too much gold from it. Instead, he's going to make an alternative play. Just didn't have enough madmen to execute the combo, but I do, right? And you'll see it here. What he does instead is pick up as many estates as he can, which is the correct thing to do, because I might stall here, right? But unfortunately for him, I did have two madmen in my opening hand. That pretty much guarantees that I'll be able to see everything. So for those of you who have never seen this thing before, this is how it works, right? I could even trigger this madman, but I didn't need to, so that's why I didn't do it. Now I get the overgrown estate, which is very helpful now because madman draws on cards in hand, right? So when the overgrown estate replaces itself, all the market squares go, and then all the market squares come back, and then I suddenly have a lot more money and a lot of buys to do things with. Smugglers here, that's why I bought the smugglers. Helps with endgame control. Smuggle the last estate, blah 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 blah, province, win. GG. Alright, so thank you for watching. Again, I'm no expert on this combo, but that's the idea, at least. You get to see the idea. Alright, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.